Hi, Chantal here from Grounded Mind. How are you doing today? Calling this video, one that means a lot to me, is stop trying to overfix yourself. Stop trying to find the answer from every source that there is that you can find. Stop, 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 stop. It was me. I used to do it. I used to be on Google, Dr. Google, our best friend. I used to be buying supplements, buying all these gadgets, thinking, this can't be me. This can't be life. I can't be stuck with this condition for the rest of my life. What is this? Because when I first had the symptoms, I had no idea what this was, out of the blue. I'm just feeling off balance, feeling dizzy, tinnitus, ears buzzing. What the heck is this? And obviously, in those moments, it does feel like that's it, this is life, and that your life has just gone from there, great, to pyong, and just gone downhill. And obviously when you're working and you've got children, all of the things you've got around you, you can't do it, you can't function. And so obviously what you're going to try to do is to fix yourself, is to find people like you, is to please ignore my puppy, is to, you're trying to fix yourself. And so, but the problem is that when we are looking for these new supplements, when we are looking for these new treatments, when we are looking for answers through people, when we are in a state of desperation, what we're doing is we're telling our brain that there is something wrong. The messages that we are sending to our brain is that something's wrong. And in that kind of place in our brain where, everything gets processed, where the fears get processed, where the calmness gets processed. And because this is a mind-body condition, our brains try to protect us by actually giving us the thing that we are feeling more, and it's a trap, and it's a trap of overthinking. And the problem is, if we're always in fixing mode, our brains get the message that something is wrong consistently. And so we are consistently making ourselves ill and making ourselves worse by trying to fix the symptoms that we're feeling. So it is a trap. It is a trap, and it is something that we need to kind of figure out in our heads. We need to understand in our heads, okay, and I understand some people don't know about mind body. So if you are in that kind of situation where you are trying to fix, stop, because you fix something that is broken. Our brains aren't broken. Our brains are scared. Our brains are scared because of all of the data and all the information that we have fed it over the years, and it's just got stuck. It's got stuck into this stage of, it knows that something is wrong with you. And so what it is doing, it's trying to say, okay, something is wrong. I need to fix it. When I say something is wrong, I don't mean you're broken. Something is wrong in the sense of you are fearing something. You are scared of something. Something's happened in your life where you have been scared. So then what's happened then is the symptoms come because they try to protect you. And your brain's like, okay, now she knows that. Now she is fearing something, and the fear is actually in her head perceived as real. So the brain's like, oh my gosh, protect, 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 protect. And so, the brain, it keeps the brain in protective mode when we are constantly looking at a fix. It keeps the brain scanning, searching, hyper alert, and actually it fuels the symptoms, as I've just mentioned, instead of calming them down. So every time you run to a new fix, you're teaching the brain danger, 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 danger. And I know I'm saying this and I'm repeating myself, but every time we look for a new fix, when we know or we think it's mind body, which it more than likely is if it's not structural and it's intermittent, and it comes on when you're stressed or fearful, it's more or less going to be a mind body condition. And so what is the solution? How do we stop ourselves from fearing and looking beyond the mind body healing? How do we stop ourselves searching, oh, but what if it isn't this? What if it's that? What if it's this? What if it's that? Well, this has got the same symptom as me, and this has got the same symptom as me. Oh, but then what if it is that? And then, and that's where the rumination goes. We think and we think and we think and we think, and all of this thinking is creating fear and anxiety. And that, put the thinking to one side, put the illnesses to one side, put the mind body to one side, put the thinking and the anxiety, that there is the ingredients for your symptoms to go that is the ingredient. That's your recipe. That's the recipe for your symptoms. The overthinking, the rumination, the chronic thinking, the spiraling, and the continuous thinking. It's a shame because we sometimes get this really weird calmness. Not calmness, that's not the right word, but we get this kind of satisfaction through overthinking because we don't stop. It's almost easier to overthink than to not overthink. And how sad is that, that we can sit there and make ourselves so depressed and not be okay with it, but we allow ourselves to do that thinking, and our symptoms that's what is the recipe. How do we, create a new recipe, a recipe for healing, a recipe for a solution to the mind body? How do we tell ourselves, well, we need to tell ourselves that we are okay. We need to calm down. We need to believe that we are good. We need to change the direction of our thoughts. We need to stop trying to fix. We need to stop confusing our brains. We need to create that safety. You need to tell yourself that you are safe. You need to feel what you are feeling. You need to actually, so not all the times, but when you get into this mind-body way of feeling, feel what the sensations feel like without judging them, without holding them at ransom, without making them feel as if they're the worst thing on earth. I know that sounds silly, but accept the fact that you are feeling these sensations, which is why I do somatic tracking, because it helps you to understand how to feel your sensations without judging them. And so that's what we need to do. You need to catch yourself when you are searching and stop. Take a breath. Breathe. You need to almost, those areas of your life where you are scared to walk into or go to, step into them with a different mindset. Feel the sensations that you will feel when you're stepping into them. Tell yourself you are not broken. Tell yourself that you are safe. And that's when the real healing takes place, when it happens. The paradox is healing often begins when we stop trying so hard to heal. I love that. So I hope this video helps today. I hope it enables you to think differently about your search. And I hope your search comes to an end, and the realization that this is a mind-body condition and that there is a way to heal without trying to fix the other different channels. This will help you to heal. You know where I am. Give me a call. Give me a DM, and let's talk through this. If you find it difficult to make sense of this, let's have a chat. That's what I'm here for. Have a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.